Hello everybody and welcome today to a new video. This will be a tier list of Manchester United players in the 2025-2026 season so far. There's only 7 games left, but I'm going to make this now because there's been no football for about 3 weeks and I'm bored. So we have tiers I love you for the whoever's just really saved this football season. We have who's had a great season, decent, poor, terrible, and who's just been non-existent. Okay, we're going to start here with Altay Bayindir. You could say Altay has been a bit non-existent because he's not played since September. I don't think, since then he made his debut against Sunderland, but I'm tempted to even put him in one of these two for the performances he did make this season. He against Arsenal, very, very weak on corners, which costed us at least a point in that game. Should have had a penalty as well, but hey, that's a different argument. So I'm gonna put Altay in poor, just because also he wasn't great against Brentford. Very poor. So we'll put him there. Next is Diogo Dalot. Okay, hold on. We're going to add a row below. We're going to rename that row, and that is going to be the Dalot row. Diogo Dalot, you can go there, pal, and we're just going to move on swiftly. Nisar Mazraoui. I think when Mazraoui's played, he has been decent, but I just don't think he's been. I don't think he's been there. Obviously, he was missing during AFCON. We know that. Apart from that, he's been injured a lot. I'm gonna check his stats now, see how many games he actually has played. Because when he has played, he's played well, I think. But he's played 15 games in the league. Okay, that's enough. It feels like he's been injured a lot more than that. But we're gonna have him in decent. I think he's been decent. Maybe there should be a tier between decent and great season, but yeah, who cares? I think Mezza's been good. See, De Ligt is a very, very tough one because De Ligt was from August to November, December. De Ligt was probably our best player. He was fantastic. He was carrying us under Amorim, but he hasn't played a game since December. He hasn't played a game this year. So it's hard to judge De Ligt's season. It's like when judging Haaland this year. You're judging Haaland on 2 halves of the season. First half of the season, he was incredible. He scored 15 plus goals. And then since then, he's scored, 5, 6? So it's the same with De Ligt. It's very, very hard to rank him on anything, really. Because he was immense. Like, he would be, if he carried on the way he would, he'd be up here. If he carried on the way he was playing. But he hasn't had a game since 30th of November against Crystal Palace, where he went off injured after 54 minutes. Oh no, that was Maguire. He didn't go off injured, but he got injured in that game, I think, and hasn't played since. So yes, he has made 13 league appearances, but because he's been injured since November, I'm gonna have to put him in non-existent because he's been non-existent for a long part of the season. Although Mazraoui's only played 2 more games. Oh, that's tough. I'm gonna put him in non-existent just because. I'm gonna move Mazraoui down because I just think both of them been injured too much. Any games Mazraoui played, really, most will be off the bench. De Ligt, been injured for months. Harry Maguire recently re-signed contract, year plus option of another year, so contract till 2028. I'm very happy. I'll be really happy for Harry Maguire to retire here. great player. His mentality in his time at United has been just incredible. He he was at the top of his game and very quickly came crashing down. He was dead and buried. He was getting bomb threats. He's being mocked in African Parliament. He was a joke, and to turn that around and be just a top crucial centre half for us, I'll be very happy for this man to retire here. And I think personally he's had a great season. He's been crucial for us. He's just, when you need to sit in your box, he is the man. He's gonna win every header. He's gonna do the dirty work. He's an incredible centre half, and I think he's a great option next year when we're in the Champions League. He's gonna be crucial for big games where we need that box presence. Next is Martinez, which is another tough one, because this man is the best ball-playing centre-back the world has ever seen. And he's also the most injury-prone centre-back the world has ever seen. He's fit, he plays brilliantly, he's out for a month. He's fit, he plays brilliantly, he's out for a month. It's so hard to get a rhythm going. So I've got Maguire and Dele in non-existent. Maguire played 15 games, Dele played 13. Martinez has played 14 in the league. So realistically, he should slot in there as well. Just based off his thing, but it's the same. Dele was great, and then just has been non-existent since. Martinez has been great, non-existent, great, non-existent. So it's tough. Like, he has had a decent season when he's played. Maybe I could change this and do off when they have played, but I've got to do off the full season, and well, yes, he's made 14 league appearances. I just don't think he's done enough. He's injured too much. He needs to stay fit. Do whatever to keep that man fit, and we'll win the league. He's so good. We play so much better when he's there because he can unlock defences. His passing is incredible, and his defending still is very good. So I'll put him there. We're going to have someone else joining him because it's Mason Mount. I love Mount. He works hard. He's a decent player. He just can't stay fit. He can't catch a break. He has made 18 league appearances. So a lot of these players are making games, but I'm putting them in non-existent because it just feels like they've been injured the whole season. Like, they're just not there when we need them. And that's the worst trick to have. Now here comes the captain. The man, the myth, the legend. And we created a new tier for this man down here. By the way, on Dalot, going back to Dalot, he's a great athlete. He was one of our I think he was our player of the year a few years ago, which shows he can be good. But he can also be a bozo. And that's why he's in that tier down there. And just like that, we're going to add a row, not below. Switch that to above. We're going to add a new row. And that is Bruno Fernandes. Not Fernando. Fernandes. Because this man, he goes in I love you comfortably because I love him. He's sensational. But he deserves a row for himself. He's been so good. He's on course to break the assist record. He's only a few away. He should have more assists than he's got, and he didn't even get an assist for the first 8 games of the season until away at Anfield, that cross to Maguire, which was fantastic. People are talking about Declan Rice for Premier League or PFA Player of the Year. Insanity. Bruno Fernandes has been phenomenal. But people make the argument, if Rice wins the title, if Arsenal win the title, Rice should win it. I think that's stupid. I think you should judge it off how good the player's been. For this award specifically, half of the winners were not in the team that won the league. So I don't think that argument's fair. I don't think the argument Bruno's played 40 games is fair, because once again, it's an award based on the league, and also when Bruno does play more games, he's still phenomenal as we've seen. So that's why he's there. Next up is Matheus Cunha. Comes in, decent money, but we got him release clause about 60 mil from Wolves, and I think he's had periods where he's been poor, maybe underwhelming when we've needed him. He's had periods when he's been decent. He's had periods when he's been great. I'm going to have him in great season, just because I do think he's come in, he's been what we needed, he's always works hard. There was this stigma around him when he first came in, that he's lazy, that he walks. I don't think that's true. He runs so much. His ball carrying is phenomenal. He is a man who you want to see out of the game. If you're 1 goal up in the 90th minute, he is going to just do whatever he can to win that football match. So I think he's been good. He's got 7 goals and 2 assists, which, granted, it's not anything super special. Hold on. It's not anything like out of this world, but it's tidy work. It's his first season at a big club. Obviously, he's been at Atletico Madrid before, but his first season, I think he's been good. Without him, it'd be very hard to see where certain play is coming from. Next up is Joshua Zirkzee, and he's just got to go non-existent. He's played 18 games. He actually is a player that, he hasn't even been injured much. Obviously, sometimes he's an unused sub. So a lot of his games are off the bench, so it's hard for him. 6 minutes, 1 minute, 18 minutes, 29 minutes, 3 minutes. So it is tough. But for me, I think he will move on in the summer. I love Zirkzee. I think moving on 40 million would be great for both parties. I think if he's a centre mid, he's a better player. He is not a good striker. He is a good player. He's not a lethal finisher. I'm going to put him in non-existent though, just because he's barely seen the pitch. I'd put him in poor. I'd put him in poor if I was putting him anywhere. I'm putting him in non-existent just because I don't think he's in the pitch. Maybe, but by the end of this, I'm going to change all this and get rid of non-existent because there's going to be too many players in there. Next up is Malacia, and I created a category for Dallo. I might have to add Malacia in there. He's a player that just why is he still on the wage bill? Obviously, not necessarily his fault. He was out for a year and a half with injuries. Before that, he did have potential, but since then, it does feel like it's a bit, you've not to be harsh, but you've let a Make-A-Wish kid onto the pitch. He doesn't look like he fits in. Look at the Newcastle game. He's just, I know it's hard being at this level, being out for so long, but he is facing away from play as Asula cuts inside. He's been non-existent, of course. The one moment he's had is terrible. We'll put him in non-existent, we'll do him a favour, but I do think we definitely have to move on. It's just, no. Also, I'll order these, so I think Martinez has been consistently the best. The Lex was immense, so we'll put him there. I think Mazraoui's been very solid, put him there. Then it's between Mount and Zirkzee. I'll put Mount just above, and then Zirkzee, then Malacia. Patrick Dorgu. Here's someone who I was coming into this season expecting him to explode. It didn't happen. Under Scamperim in the 5-back, Dorgu was struggling, and I would be happy put him here. I'd be happy to put him here. But under Michael Carrick, before the injury, only a few games, we saw what Dorgu can do. He was fantastic against City, got a goal. Fantastic against Arsenal, got a worldie, and had a couple more good games. So under Carrick, great. Before Carrick, poor. So I think he's going to go in decent. I think overall he's had a decent season. Ballon Dorgu. He's back fit now. Let's see what he can do. He's a good option off the left. We need him because we don't have many options off that left. The only one we have is Cunha, and he's not a winger. And Dorgu isn't a winger, but he's an option. A left-footed option down there. And his crossing's got better recently too. So it's good to see he's working on his shooting, his crossing, his passing. He's getting better. And hopefully he can be fit for the rest of the season and have an impact. Next is Lenny Yara. This is a tough one. Because Lenny, he's a fantastic player. He's still very, very young. He's only 20. And he did do really well when he first came in. I think he recently he's been a bit off it. Would I put him in poor? Do I think he's been poor? He's not been great. I do think I think that's very harsh on Lenny because when he has played recently, especially, I think maybe first few months of the season, any games he had, he was poor. But I do think he's been very crucial in these past few months, and you look at the game. I don't know if it was Villa, maybe, not too sure. Maybe no, it was West Ham, I think, where he came off the bench, made 2 crucial tackles. I think he was very good against Villa as well. I think Lenny has had a decent season. He's had some poor moments, some great moments. Overall, decent. Amad Diallo, that's tough. Because Amad is phenomenal. Great player. What you need, he's going to run at defenders, he's going to push him. But he has been underwhelming. If you look at his numbers, 2 goals and 2 assists in 25 Premier League games. For a player like Amad Diallo, he can do better. Even the season before, he played 26, got 8 goals, 6 assists. Now, football is beyond numbers. But it does, for a forward, it does matter. I think Amad under Carrick, he hasn't got a single goal contribution, but he has done well in parts. He has been decent. It's tough. It's tough. You know what? I'm gonna put him top of poor. Not necessarily. I do think his season has been decent, but I want more from him, and I know he can give me more. So that's why he's going there. I need more from him. See, maybe there's the argument he's probably had a better season than Lenny and Dorgu overall, but I just know he can be so much better, and that's why he's going there. Casemiro. Uncle Casemiro leaving at the end of the season. Heartbreaking. 1 more year, please, but it's not going to happen. Leave the football. Leave the football before the football. No. Leave the football before the... Why can't I can do a Scots accent normally. Today it's not happening. Wait. Leave the football before the football leave. No, I'm cutting this out. Why can't I do it? No, I can't do a Scots accent anymore. Okay, that's gone horribly wrong. I can do one. It's not happened here. But leave the football. Football leaves you. Leave the accent before the accent leaves you. The accent's gone. It's left him. He's had a great season. He actually might go and argue. He's been phenomenal. He's so good. He's so good. He's so crucial on set pieces. He's such an attacking threat. He's so solid, composed. He's going to go in great season. I think he's had a great season. I'm going to put him top of that. I'd love him to stay. I would. Brian Mbeumo is another player that is going to go into a great season. He's going to go to the top of it. I do think recently he's taken a hit because he's been playing down the centre. But I do think overall he's had a fantastic season. You look at Brian Mbeumo, 9 goals, 3 assists. It's decent numbers. We know they can be better. We know they will be better. They should be better. But overall, for a lot of this season, he's shown up in the big games. He's turned up in the big games, big moments, scored big goals. And without him, we'd be truly screwed. So I'm very happy to put Mbeumo top of great season. He came in for 70 mil, 65 mil. and he's done everything I'd expect of him. Put him out wide, and you'll see the best of him. Next is Tom Heaton. Some would say non-existent, but I watched the things United put out, and he has great vibes. So he's going to the bottom of decent just for his vibes. He's a great lad, Tom Heaton, and that's why he's going there. So, Luke Shaw. Shaw's a really tough one actually, because this is the first season we've got of Shaw in years where he's been consistently fit. Luke Shaw has made 31 league appearances out of 31. He's played every single game. Last season he made 7, the season before 12, the season before 31, and the season before 20. So all he needs is one more game for this to be his most active year. Actually, he needs 2 more appearances for this to be the most games he's played in a single year at Manchester United, and he only needs 1 more to match. So he's been plagued by injuries in his time, especially in the past few years, but he's finally back fit, and he's had a mixed season. He has had runs where he's been phenomenal. He's looked back almost to his best. He's looked crucial, and then he's had times where it just looks like his legs have gone. He can't do it. He can't get up. He can't attack. He can't get up and down quick. It's a tough one because I love Shaw, but he's a mix. I feel like I'm gonna put him in decent because I do think he's been decent overall. He's been consistent. He's been there every minute when we've needed him, because without him, and especially with Dorgu injured, would be finished. I think Shaw's been good. I'm going to move him to the top of decent, because he actually has had a good year. It's just certain games and certain moments, it's like you can see the decline, and okay, we do need a new left back. Next up, it's Manuel Ugarte. He is a player who gets mocked, and kind of fairly so sometimes. He just doesn't offer much on the ball, does he? Off the ball, he's a workhorse. He's going to give you the yards. But he's made 21 league appearances, and I think in most of those we've conceded when he comes on. It's been a terrible season. I think he probably would admit that himself. He's probably going to leave at the end of the year. I wish it had have worked better, but we could have got Shaun Neves. We got Ugarte. It hasn't worked out. I think we should just move on. He just doesn't offer us anything that, like even a Fletcher. Fletcher offers more. One of them. I think this is Jack, maybe. I'm not too sure. But one of the Fletchers offers more. In my opinion, even though they wasn't great, but obviously they're young lads. They'd offer more. Ugarte, when he comes on, we just look less of a team. If he comes on for Casemiro or Mainoo, we look like so much less of a team, and he's going in terrible for that. Aiden Heaven is another player that under Carrick, I don't think Heaven started a game. He's had 16 minutes under Carrick, or 17 actually. So very, very limited game time. But obviously Carrick's just been grafting to get consistent results, and he's had to rely on the partnership of Euro and Maguire, so understandable. But that being said, I do think when Aiden Heaven has played this season, he has been very decent. He's a young lad. He's only 19 himself. We got him for what, 500,000, or no, just over $1 million from Arsenal, and he's a phenomenal centre back. Him and Lenny in the next few years will be fantastic. Every time Heaven plays, he's so comfortable on the ball. His tackling is great. In the air, he's good. I'm very happy with Heaven. I think when he's played, he's had a decent season. Yes, you can look at it and say he's played 14 games. He's played the same as some of these players down in non-existent. But you notice they're older players. They're more experienced players. They're players that you've grown to know in the squad. Whereas Heaven's a young player that you can understand, especially in recent games of him not playing. But when he has played, decent. Benjamin Šeško, You look at Šeško, he scored, I think, 2 goals earlier in the season. So you're going to see some recency bias here of how phenomenal he's been. But I do think earlier in the season he was still showing signs of just what he's doing now. All his link-up play was good. It just wasn't clicking. We wasn't getting balls into him, but he also wasn't doing enough in the final third. But since the turn of the year, since Amorim got sacked, we had a little bit of Fletcher where Šeško scored 2 against Burnley and 1 in the cup against Brighton, and then since then he scored against Fulham, scored against West Ham, scored against Everton, scored against Palace, and scored against Villa. A lot of those off the bench. He's now got himself 9 goals and 1 assist. I think honestly Benjamin Šeško has had a great season. I think Reece, especially if you look at since Carrick's come in, without him, you know, he's given me joy. I've been jumping with him. I think Benjamin Šeško, he's a phenomenal striker, and once again, he's only 22. He's going to get better, especially the more he gets used to the players, used to the league and everything. Same with, you know, a few of these players. But for me, recently under Carrick has been making a mistake, and his mistake is benching Šeško and putting Mbeumo down the middle. Ahmad is great off the bench. Put Ahmad on the bench, have Brian Mbeumo out on the right where he's best, and have Šeško down the middle, and have players passing the ball to Šeško, because we're so much better when Benjamin Šeško is playing. We're a threat. He gives us so much we can actually cross, even though we decide not to when he plays for some reason. He's 6'6". He's a beast in the air. His finishing is unbelievable. That goal against West Ham was just sublime. He's such a good player, and I think he's had a great season. I'm going to put him... Has he been better than Cunha? I'm going to put him here. I'm going to put him here. I think you just look at the past couple months. He's been so good. He's showing what we want to see from a United striker, and I think we'll only see more. So next is Senna Lammens. This man is actually in contention to start for Belgium at the World Cup with Thibaut Courtois injured, I think. I don't know if he'll be back in time. But Senna Lammens came in for 18 million, I think it was. He didn't start. That's why we see Alte here in poor. He didn't start. But then he came in against Sunderland, got a clean sheet in his first game, our first clean sheet this season, and we still struggled for clean sheets since then. But I wouldn't say that's much his fault. You could definitely go and say Senna Lammens hasn't done anything particularly extraordinary. He hasn't been pulling off world-class saves week in, week out, but what he has done is do exactly what we needed after this guy, this terrorist. He's done exactly what we needed. He's come in, he's been just tidy. He's just done everything right. He's made all the saves you need him to make. His passing's been good. Obviously the odd dodgy moment, but he's not made a mistake leading to goal, in my opinion. Yes, there's a couple shots the way you'd look at it and you have to say you should do better, but every keeper's going to have that during the season, and those have been so few and far between for him. I think he's been brilliant. You look at Onana. Onana was making mistakes every week. He was making mistakes no keeper should ever make. And I just think Senna Lammens has come in, he's changed my life, and he's going in, I love you. Because I do. He honestly, he's just been so consistently brilliant. He's played every game in all competitions since the Sunderland game, and he hasn't put a foot wrong. He's been so good. And I think if we had him in the past few years before that, you know, we'd be doing so much better. He's just so reliable. You know, you feel safe when he's in goal. His box presence when crosses come in. That Everton were bombarding our 6-yard box with corners, and he dealt with every single one of them like he's had 10 years in the business. Phenomenal. Cheeto, we're going to skip past. Tyler Frederickson will skip past. Diego Leon will skip past. Kobbie Mainoo. See, you'd see the first half of the season under the terrorist that is Ruben Amorim. and you'd put Kobe Mainoo down here because he was non-existent. But since then, since that man, he who shall not be named, who I just named, but we'll forget that. Since he got sacked, Kobe has played near enough every minute. He's come in, he has been phenomenal. We've lost just one game in the league since Kobe Mainoo came in. He's so good that it was obvious he's so good. He's only 20 as well. His 21st birthday is in a week actually, so happy early birthday to Kobe. But he's been so good. He's such a tidy player. He's so calm on the ball. He progresses the ball so nicely. He does everything. And if you get a true midfield partner in there with him, whether that be an Elliot Anderson, a Sandro Tonali, a Bruno G, if you get a consistent, reliable partner in that pivot with Kobe Mainoo, you will see how good he is and how good the team can be. I think Kobe Mainoo, he was neglected for a long part, but I think he's had a great season. Honestly, I do. Or, I'll actually put him top of decent because I know he can be even better. But I think he's been very good when he's played. When he's actually been given the chance, like he should, all season, which was obvious. He's been very good. You can rely on him. And the reason he's not in great is because I know he can be even better. He can be. He will be. And next season, with a true midfield partner, we'll see how good Kobe is. Next is the Fletchers. I don't know if we do the Fletchers, because they played a couple games each. I think Tyler played one, Jack played 2 or 3. And they got a lot of stick, but at the end of the day, they were 18 coming into a side where was really struggling under Amarim. So I think it's hard to judge them. I've watched them for the youth plenty. I watched the youth enough that I know they're good players. They're really good players. They'll come in and do a good job in the future, I'm sure. But we haven't seen much of them yet. So I'm just going to leave them there. For now, Shea Lacey. We've probably seen similar amounts of Shea that we have as Jack and Tyler. But I feel much more comfortable judging Shea Lacey. And honestly, I do love him. He's so good. He's phenomenal. If he can stay away from injuries, this kid will be one of the best players in the league. I'm not scared to say it. He is unbelievable. Just look at, I've watched him for years in the academy, praying he stays fit. Because he's so good technically. He's just so good. You look at, as soon as he comes on against Burnley, hits the bar, has another shot just wide. He makes things happen. Even against Brighton, he was doing the same thing. Got sent off, and that's what in a young player you want to see. Oh, what a goal by Rio Nugamura, by the way, against Fulham. But you see he's got that passion, he's got the desire, got the red card, which was just, I hate the robotification of football. They want players to act like robots. I know that there's in the rules, yada yada yada, but players have emotions. It's a tense sport. He's a young kid. He about to be knocked out of the FA Cup. It's his first ever FA Cup game, I believe. Well, no, it definitely is. So just let him show something. Let him show a bit of fight. You don't have to send him off, but he isn't going to stay in this tier. He's going to go into there indecent because he has played very well when he's played. And next season, he is going to explode if he stays fit, hopefully. I pray for it every night. He's so good. He will be phenomenal. I have full faith in Shea Lacey. Now, there's Sekou Kone here, who is a talented player. Wait, see. I feel like, actually, I may have... Is that Sekou? See, I'm doing this on the tablet, so forgive me. I cannot see. That might be a micro. That might be something. I feel like I'm just gonna move past that real quick. But Sekou Kone will be brilliant next year. I assume because he's actually played a game, it's Camerson. I think because Camerson played a couple games. Well, he played one game. And I love Camerson, and I think he can be very good in the future. But yeah, we're going to move past that. I can't see. It's 2 a.m. and I can't see. So yeah. So these are the players. Obviously, all these are gone on loan or have been sold. Actually, no, all of them are online. I'd happily take Rashi back, by the way, but that's a story for another day. Or maybe, if anyone wants it, I can do a summer signings video, maybe after the end of the season. But yeah, now let me check and review this. It's been a long video for not that many players, but games again. We've only got 2 in poor, 1 in terrible. Obviously, we see Tommy in here. He's a great lad. You know, maybe because of it, I'm going to move Lenny to the top of poor, just because, once again, I know how much better he can be, although recently he's really stepped up when we needed him. I'm going to put him there just because I know he is better than that. He can be one of the best centre-backs in the league. He has that potential. We'll see it. We'll see it when, you know, with a lot of pressure's been on him in these past games under Maguire. He's had next to Maguire, should I say? He's had to come in and be steady, and he's done that so well. Only 20 years old, he's done that so well. He's good on the ball. He's tidy. He's composed. His tackling is probably the closest thing to put. You know, we've seen since Wan-Bissaka to just go. He's going to go in and win that tackle. So I'm going to put him there. Just checking this. See, like, I would put Xerxes here. I'd put Malacia here. I'd put Mount probably in poor. I'd put Majraoui in decent. I'd put Delict's tough. I'd put him in decent overall, even though when he was playing, he was up here. And then Martinez, you know, I love him, but we have to go off this season, so I'm going to put Martinez, then Delict, then Majraoui. Then, you know, we'll do Xerxes and Mount. These players are here because, yes, they've played 10 to 15 games, but it's just so hard because they've been injured or they've been on the bench, and it's just, we need more from them. Overall, Bruno at the top, obviously, in his own category, because he is out of this world. He's phenomenal. Compare him to Odegaard, and no, just please stop it. Just don't compare him to Declan Rice either. It's disrespectful at this point, honestly. He'll go on to break that assist record. Senna Lammens, deservedly here. We've got, in great season, we've got Brian Mbeumo, Casemiro, Benjamin Šeško, Harry Maguire, Matheus Cunha. In decent, we've got Kobbie Mainoo, Luke Shaw, Patrick Dorgu, or should I say Ballon Dorgu, Aidan Heaven, Shea Lacey, and the boy Tom Heaton. In poor, we have Lenny, Ahmad, and Alte. In terrible, we have Ugai, and I forgot to move Malacia back to non-existent, but you know what? Actually, non-existent is the perfect category for Malacia, because that's kind of what he is. We've got Martinez, Delict, Majraoui, Xerxes, Mount, and Malacia in non-existent, and then we have Dallo in his own little category down there. Yeah, the Portuguese talent at United is really interesting. You've got one up here, one down here. But yeah, obviously this ranking is also partly off of how I know a player should be, and that Ahmad shouldn't necessarily be down here, but I know he can be so much better. Lenny shouldn't, you know, he's not been that poor, but I know both of them should be up here with their talent. So that's why these guys are down here, and I think that's going to wrap up the tier list. If I can zoom out, maybe no. But yeah, that's the tier list. Let me know your guys' tier down in the comments. Whether you agree, whether you think I've gone drastically wrong somewhere, whether this was probably a little too long. Yeah, obviously there's still 7 games left. Maybe some of these will be adjusted at the end of the season, but I've done it now. Yeah, if you like the video, then I don't know why, but thanks. I will be doing more. Suggest more in the comments if you have any different ideas I could do. But for now, that's it. Thank you and goodbye.